What is up, everybody? I'm No Lex Given, and today we're going to take a look at one of my most powerful Empress P games. And part of that power is going to come from the fact that I'm going to grab an upgraded Empress P on turn 4.1. Just Wonder Waddle things, of course. This hero is always super powerful and does not disappoint. On the first turn, I kind of didn't care what we rolled the die into. There were three good options. Either we get an animal, we get an 8/8, or we get a crafty, which is also a fine character on Wonder Waddle. And turn 2, there were a lot of interesting options to go for. There's a lot of evil animals that you can transform into, so I really like to use Shard of the Ice Queen early on as Wonder Waddle. We wound up getting a Madman, which isn't super great for us here, but I am actually kind of glad we got rid of our egg, because it would have gotten cracked in that combat, and now we've got some extra econ from the Madman. I'll roll the die on turn 3, because there were 3 animals in the shop, and Skip's Puzzle Rune plus Polywoggle, that's the solution to the video. That's how we are going to grab that upgraded Empress P on turn 4.1. So I'm going to lock onto Polywoggle. I don't always lock on 2.2, by that I mean I tend not to lock on 2.2, but Polywoggle plus the Puzzle Rune just seemed like such a great combo that I wanted to take advantage of. So that's basically what we're gonna do in this game. We will pick up the Polywoggle, and I wouldn't be super upset if the Polywoggle was able to slay right here. And for that reason, I do wind up initially starting it off in that first slot with our Madman. But when it doesn't wind up slaying this turn, let's jump into the combat here. It attacks into a happy little tree. Now I'm gonna be a little bit more reserved with it and try to grab that Puzzle Rune first and the upgrade of Polywoggle, and then see if we can do anything crazy. And I think the fact that we upgrade the Polywoggle 2 here also definitely pushes me into that direction for sure. So upgrade of the Polywoggle, and then we'll move some things around. I believe I'll be putting the Unicorn in front of the Madman to give that some additional stats, and then moving the Polywoggle into slot 4 specifically so that it won't slay. And this is something that you see me typically do on a point 2 turn, but the fact that I just already have this Puzzle Rune means that I'm very quickly going to be able to hit level 5 this game. So I'm kind of just already planning for that. You put the Black Cat in front of the Polywoggle too. Now I'm still playing the Polywoggle. This isn't like the video that I put out. When did I put out that video? Oh, did I put that out yesterday? Oh, I hope not, because I'm trying to space out this content a little bit more. I might have to double check on that. You guys might not get this video when I initially planned, just so that way I don't have 2 Polywoggle videos kind of back to back here. But very similar gameplay, and I did play them pretty close to back. We wind up picking up the Frog Prince, and that gives me the Jack's Jumping Beans, and at this point, now I'm very much into the camp of let's make sure that this Polywoggle doesn't slay, even to the point where now I'm actually going to bench the Polywoggle. So we need 1 more treasure. We can get that off of Black Cat or Rainbow Unicorn, and then we have to wait 1 additional turn. That 4.1 turn, that will be the natural 4.1 will be our 5.0, and then we'll use Madman and Polywoggle and maybe 1 more treasure, or maybe a Sporko by the time we level up, and maybe a spell. And that will hopefully be enough to get this Polywoggle slaying, and then we'll see what we can do from there. But still sitting pretty comfortably at 39 health despite all of this crazy stuff that we're doing now. My opponent's going pretty crazy here themselves with a really funky strategy. Sherwood Sure Shot, Book of Heroes on Celestial Tiger, and then they're just going for it. They're trying to go all in on those Book of Heroes triggers. So that was really cool to see. I definitely would like to try that out sometime myself, because yeah, that went pretty nuts. So that was kind of cool to look at. On 4.0, I know that I have a little bit of a break. I'm not trying to crack the Puzzle Rune this turn. I'm not trying to activate Polywoggle this turn. Next turn will be that big turn where we grab that upgraded Empress P. and really just go nuts. And like I said, or was maybe beginning to say, we've got a lot of health points. Despite just losing to that Celestial Tiger that's doing some funky stuff, we've got a lot of health points right now, and that makes me feel comfortable about pursuing a sillier strategy, to be sure. So I think we definitely have the flexibility to do so, and picking up these vultures adds a lot more power to our board as well. They're also a pair. It's probably half of the reason I picked them up as well. Now we can find a vulture, a black cat, or a unicorn, and that will give us our puzzle rune activation and should put us in a pretty decent place to try to win this one. So I like where all of this is gone, and we get to stay at 29 health. Could take the crafty here too. That wouldn't be too terrible. Definitely don't want the For Glory, despite the fact that we're going to be level 5, but then Black Cat. That is where we want to be. And from there, I'm just going to take Corrupted Heartwood because it gives one additional attack to Polywoggle, and I'll take all the help that I can get. We move the Mad Mim over into slot 1. We are going to cut the crafty fully and completely, and then I would still potentially like a spell like a Burning Palm to put on this Polywoggle, so I'm not going to turn that down, and then I'll sell off this Rainbow Unicorn, pick up the Golden Chicken, and we are good to go, baby. This looks great. This game basically has gone as good as I could have possibly asked for, I think, and it's only going to continue to go crazy from here. With the fact that we are going to slay with this Polywoggle, I've already spoiled this part. I've already spoiled that it is going to be an Empress P here on 4.1, and we get the 50-50 on the Polywoggle slay. So that is really, really fantastic. I could take 20 damage this combat, and I would still be super excited for our chances to win this game. But those vultures that we picked up are pretty strong too, and those are actually going to allow us to battle through these Juliets and walk away with a tie. So now we've got an upgraded Empress P and 31 health, and the rest of the lobby's on 4.2. Feeling pretty good. Feeling silly today. I don't know why. But I'm feeling good enough that I place a reckless wager here. And I do also pick up another Polywoggle. I thought that would be fun. And then I'm also going to grab a River Wish Mermaid. I was just looking for any support, basically, to work with this Empress P. But now we've got a support that's actually going to start to scale our Empress P, which is very powerful. And we can even pick up a Lightning Dragon to pair off with that. I think I will also lock on to a second Lightning Dragon, just because when you are, like, now we're kind of moving into the slay strategy, right? We weren't necessarily in that before, but I think that now we are. And 4.2, this is still a fine enough time to potentially be slaying with those Lightning Dragons. Now, we aren't actually going to slay with the Lightning Dragon. It's going to miss a 1 in 3 and attack into a Soul Tack, but we do still just kind of barely have the stats. We wind up losing and taking 7 there, but I would still say that we were on par stat-wise with our opponent. You can take a look, 30% to win, 40% to lose, 30% to tie there. So I would say that we are doing pretty good, and when we triple the Lightning Dragon, that's going to make it a lot easier to slay, and there are 2, almost 3 really good treasure options there. The 3 of Swords could work pretty well with just the Empress P and the Lightning Dragon, helping them slay. The Sky Castle is ultimately what I go for, because that will allow me to triple a River Wish Mermaid or double a River Wish Mermaid easily, and potentially allow me to grab Evil Eye, which could be a lot of fun. But also the Gloves of Thieving wouldn't be a terrible treasure, because then we'd be able to use Lightning Dragon to steal some of my opponent's support characters. So definitely also something to consider as well, but go for the Sky Castle. I'm glad that I did, because now I get to pair off this River Wish Mermaid next turn, and that's just going to allow this Empress P to continue to scale in some really, really powerful ways. It's funny, I don't really even, a lot of times with River Wish Mermaid, you care about the fact that it has the word slay on it, but I'm actually just in it for the stats right here. With this Evil Eye added on, that means it is double supporting the River Wish Mermaid. So the River Wish Mermaid is, or the Empress P rather, is being supported by the River Wish Mermaid, so it has 4 slays, and it is getting +8/+8, every single time it does slay. So that is really sweet. I wind up picking up a Lancelot because if we have the Evil Eye, we might as well look for Horn of Olympus, and we can actually grab a Lancelot activation right here by picking up this Boomhilda. I love picking up a ranged support character for the Empress P. You can see that's going to make that character go pretty wild. And then we'll also grab a tier 5 treasure from that as well. I hang on to the Polywoggle. Could have just held on, excuse me, to the Madman there potentially, but one thing that I was thinking about is if we now put the Polywoggle in front of the Boomhilda, 1 health on that Robin Hood, by the way, pretty awkward. But if we were to put the Polywoggle in front of the Boomhilda, it would have 21 attack immediately. So pretty reasonable chance that that is able to activate. We actually take out the Celestial Tiger there pretty handedly because of our Empress P, and I actually want to rewind that back just to see what this Empress P has got going on now. Okay, so if they activate their Lancelot, they'll grab a tier 7 treasure from that. Otherwise, they've kind of had to pull away from just the all-in strategy of the Sherwood Short Shot, but the other important thing here is we are able to grab Horn of Olympus. So I'm going to want to add another support to this battlefield. I will pick up a Golden Chicken as well. Could use the Evil Twin to grab another Empress P. We've already got the perfect treasures for Empress P, so why not? And I'm going to go for that, a 35-5 already, and then I get to lock onto a Baba Yaga. So things are going very, very well. This might be 6.0. Let's see, yeah, 5.2. So this is either 6.0 or 5.2. We can check after the game, but either way, we've got 2 Empress Ps, we've got perfect treasures. We're doing really, really dang well in all of this, and yeah, definitely feeling very powerful. We get to give all of these supports a ton of stats from our Empress Ps, and when we get to add in a Baba Yaga next turn, that's going to allow us to make us just go crazy here. We also get to pick up another River Wish Mermaid, which is nice. Now when we find a Jormungand, we'll be able to have a ton of slays on all of our characters. I do still kind of like playing this Boomhilda for now, just because the plus 20 attack will definitely help in our abilities to actually connect on those slays, and then it is a ranged character as well. So that is definitely adding some power to our board. But for right now, just trying to max out our ability to actually slay, I think is going to be pretty helpful. Probably not planning on doing anything with the Polywoggles at this point. Really just looking for Jormungand, Empress P, Knighthood in that same capacity, and then some Baba Yagas maybe to fill out the backline or upgrade our existing Baba Yaga. Lightning Dragon gonna get the slay, Empress P gonna get the slay, and looks like my other Empress would have gotten the slay if it was not attacked into, or maybe that was wrong. I didn't take too close of a look there, but either way, we get the kill on to Midas there, and we're doing pretty good. Get to play up against this Celestial Tiger yet again, and we were pretty good up against them last time, so I'm really not stressing it. We were 100% to win on that last combat. I'm just going to roll past the Polywoggle. Like I said, we're past that. Now, I could have potentially taken the Polywoggle for the sole reason of just looking for a tier 2 treasure like a bounty board or Hermes sandals. Those could have been fine, but ultimately I don't go for it. And then we do see another Empress P in this shop, so I'm actually going to sell off my full bench and pick that up. I do have to sell off my River Wish Mermaid, which is a little bit awkward, but I get to pick up a Pandora's Box, which is fun. Pandora's Box isn't like the ideal treasure when you're in a slate comp, but who's going to turn down a Pandora's Box? It could be anything, even a Pandora's Box. Now, that would be funny if Pandora's Box could just hatch into another Pandora's Box or something, though I don't think that would be super, super useful. Anyways, Doom Breath wrecks us here and takes out all of our characters, but we've still got a ton of health, so we're doing pretty good, and we grab a tier 7 treasure. So now we actually get to put our weaker Empress P, the one that we haven't had for as long, into slot 1 because we picked up a magic sword plus 100. Definitely wasn't expecting that. We have the opportunity to grab even more Empress P's here, though I don't think that's what we want to go for either. I think that we want to keep these units and basically just add a Jormungand onto this board, so that is what I'm going to go for. And because I know that is eventually the plan, I also pick up a Riverwish Mermaid here. Then I'm lucky enough to find a Jormungand and lock onto that. So we'll play this board for one more turn, and then next turn we'll cut the second Baba Yaga, we'll pick up the Jormungand, and then at that point we're just rolling for combat spells, maybe Jormungand's Knighthood for Jormungand, and the third Baba Yaga. And that is basically it. But I think with the plus 100 attack on that first Empress P, that one should be looking pretty good. And then the second Empress P already at 100. Feeling pretty good about that one too. Though unfortunately, my opponent is going to take out my Riverwish Mermaid on this combat. So we're going to lose any amount of scaling for this turn. That is a little bit unfortunate. We will still find the win here as we have absolutely massive Baba Yagas, but a little bit unfortunate that we did not get any scaling. But we will get to scale some a little bit here up against the Ghost, and here we get to go crazy, throw that Riverwish Mermaid in. I don't even really think we need another Riverwish Mermaid. It doesn't really do anything for me at this point, so I'm just rolling for, like I said, Baba Yaga, Jormungand, and Knighthood. So I will activate this Drink Me potion, and I'm actually going to go for a Burning Palm here. Just Burning Palm on my lesser Empress P. We just cut a Baba Yaga, so that was 12 attack on that Empress P. So maybe it could use a little bit more help just in case things get a little bit close, and we'll get to farm a little bit here against the Ghost just to make sure we're okay. And one other thing that I'm thinking about is against Celestial Tiger, well, you know what? I'll talk about that next turn or the turn after whenever we eventually play up against that Celestial Tiger. Lightning Dragon attacks into Romeo, which is protected by a Soul Tack, but here we get to see an Empress P slaying and doing its thing, finally getting to go absolutely insane. That sends our Jormungand up over 1,000. And definitely makes me feel good about our chances to win this thing overall. We're looking really, really good. And we'll even get some more scaling on Jormungand before we go. So, our last match is up against Celestial Tiger, who's been leading with Doom Breath. We do get to pick up Baba Yaga, so that's really good. We'll skip this treasure, and then also Pigomorph. That's also really good. So really, really fantastic turn for us. And the other thing that I wanted to draw attention to that I do on this combat is I split up my Riverwish Mermaids. My opponent has a Doom Breath, and really the only way that all of this goes terribly is if Doom Breath is able to take out both of my Riverwish Mermaids at the same time. So I'm gonna move Lightning Dragon around as well. But the important thing here is just splitting up the mermaids so that way at least one of them can survive and give me some slays and grow my Jormungand to be absolutely crazy. Now my opponent actually moved their Doom Breath to the second slot, which I think might have been a little bit of a mistake, and we're going to punish them even farther because Empress P is going to slay the dragon, so we don't really have anything to worry about. All of our backline supports are fine, which means that Empress P is fine. She's going to grow to some crazy numbers, grow Jormungand to some crazy numbers, and that is going to be it. We actually have enough here to take my opponent out even. Despite my Lightning Dragon going down, we still have enough damage with all of my upgraded characters, so that's it. Pretty crazy game. We got 2 Empress Ps almost to 300. We got that first one to 300 in that Magic Sword plus 100 slot, and the second one almost got to 300 just by itself, just by slaying and growing and all of these awesome supports and treasures. And yeah, just a really, really insane one that, you know, I didn't know exactly where this game was going to go. I obviously got pretty lucky that I hit a premier unit like Empress P that I was then able to do so much with, and then also got a little bit lucky to find some of these treasures that I wanted to find. But still, You don't get lucky if you don't take the chances, and I thought we took some really cool chances in this one to level up early and grab that early upgraded tier 6 character off of Polywoggle. So that is going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.